As we get older, it's natural to question some of the things we've always done. If you're over 70, you might have asked yourself, is this really necessary anymore? You've spent decades shaping your life, but there comes a point where the habits that once served you might be holding you back instead of helping. There's a certain freedom that comes with aging. You've earned your wisdom, and with that wisdom comes the permission to let go of old expectations, especially the ones that no longer bring you peace or joy. In today's video, we're going to talk about 5 things that may have outlived their purpose in your life. Things that, once you release them, could make way for more joy, less stress, and most importantly, more space for what really matters to you. So stay with me until the end. You might be surprised by how refreshing it feels to stop doing things that no longer align with who you are today. Before we begin, I'd love to know from which city you're watching from. Drop in the comments. I always love to see where our community reaches. Now let's get started. 1. Stop trying to please everyone. As we get older, there's often a lingering habit of trying to make everyone else happy, even if it comes at the cost of your own peace. You might catch yourself saying yes to things you don't really want to do. Maybe it's a family dinner that you'd rather skip, or agreeing to watch the grandkids when all you really need is a quiet day at home. Over time, these small compromises start to build up, and you may begin to feel like your life isn't even your own anymore. But here's the truth. At this stage in life, it's okay to put yourself first. You've spent so many years caring for others, making sure everyone else's needs were met. And while it's not wrong to help those you love, it's important to remember that your needs and your peace matter too. There's no shame in saying no when it's necessary for your own well-being. For many, especially those of a certain generation, pleasing others became second nature. Back in the day, there was often a belief that self-sacrifice was a virtue, and taking time for yourself was considered selfish. But the rules have changed. Now, as you move through this chapter of life, it's your turn to honor your own boundaries and give yourself permission to say no. I'll never forget something a wise man once said to me in his 80s. Your no is just as powerful as your yes. It's something that stayed with me because it's true. When you start setting healthy boundaries, you'll see that the relationships that matter will become even more meaningful, and the ones that weren't adding value will naturally fade away. Take Carol, for example. She was 74 and had spent decades playing the role of the caretaker, always saying yes, always doing what others expected. But one day, she hit a wall. She realized she was utterly exhausted, and no one had even bothered to ask how she was doing. So, she decided to change things. She began saying no when she needed to, and instead of losing connections, she found that her relationships became clearer, and even stronger in some cases. Now, let me ask you, when was the last time you did something because you wanted to, not because someone expected it of you? If it's been a while, maybe it's time to start again. Do it without guilt. Do it without apology. You've earned the right to focus on your own needs and desires. It's not about being selfish. It's about being true to yourself. And when you take care of yourself, you'll find that you can show up for others even more fully when you choose to. 2. Stop chasing youth and embrace the beauty of aging. There's a point in life when the constant effort to look younger stops being fulfilling and starts feeling exhausting. The world around us keeps pushing the idea that youth equals beauty and value. With all the creams, dyes, surgeries, and filters out there, it's easy to feel like you're falling behind if you don't keep up. But here's the reality. After 70, it becomes clear that trying to look young is a never-ending race that rarely brings peace. The truth is, looking young doesn't guarantee good health, and it certainly doesn't ensure happiness. Often, chasing youth can create more anxiety than satisfaction. A wrinkle here, a gray hair there, and suddenly we start doubting ourselves. We're led to believe that these signs of aging somehow make us less valuable or less attractive, but that's simply not the case. Aging is a natural part of life, and it carries with it a quiet strength that youth never could. The more you try to erase the marks of time, the more you miss out on embracing the dignity and wisdom that come with it. There's nothing wrong with taking care of yourself, dressing well, staying active, looking your best. But there's a big difference between caring for yourself and trying to erase the very years that shaped you. I remember a man I met at a senior community center. He was 79 years old. He told me, when I stopped dyeing my hair and trying to cover every wrinkle, people started seeing me. not some image I was pretending to be. It was the most freeing moment of my life. And I'll tell you, there's power in those words. The people who care about you aren't looking at your smooth skin or youthful appearance. They're drawn to your personality, your kindness, your humor, the way you listen, and the way you navigate life with grace. So why fight it? Instead of pouring your energy into staying young, why not embrace the beauty that comes with age? Let your face tell the story of your life. Let your body reflect all the years you've lived. The confidence that comes from owning your age is far more radiant than any beauty treatment could ever be. Your age isn't something to hide. It's something to celebrate. Because the more you embrace the years you've lived, the more you'll realize how beautiful it truly is. If you're enjoying these insights and you feel like they resonate with you, leave a comment below with 2 to let me know you're here. And if you haven't already, don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon so you never miss a new video that could bring more wisdom and joy to your life. Your support helps us keep making content that inspires you. 3. Let go of pretending to be okay. As we move through life, especially after 70, there's this pressure to always appear strong, happy, and perfectly fine, even when we're not. Many older adults carry this idea with them. Never complain, never burden anyone, just smile and say you're fine. It's almost like we've internalized this unwritten rule that we need to be invincible, no matter what we're feeling inside. But here's the truth. Pretending everything is okay when it's not doesn't make you strong. It actually makes you invisible. Over time, hiding your struggles can silently take a toll on your emotional well-being. When you constantly tell yourself to keep quiet, thinking that silence equals strength, you end up isolating yourself from the support you truly need. At this stage of life, things can feel more complex. Grief, physical discomfort, the worry about being a burden. It's completely normal to have days when you feel a little low, anxious, or just plain tired. But if you keep pushing these emotions down, telling yourself you're fine when you're not, you might start to feel like no one truly gets you. The reality is, silence doesn't protect you. It just makes you feel alone. I often reflect on Stoic philosophy, which teaches that acknowledging our pain isn't a weakness, it's wisdom. The Stoics believed that being honest about what you're going through, without making a big dramatic show of it, is a sign of strength. It's okay to say, I'm having a tough day, or I could use some company. In fact, it's necessary. You were never meant to silently carry the weight of the world. Admitting you're struggling doesn't make you less dignified. It makes you human. Think about it. When you tell people you're fine while carrying sadness or fear, you're not just hiding your struggles, you're also closing off the possibility for connection. The people who care about you, whether they're family, friends, or even neighbors, can't help you if they don't know what's going on. I remember a woman named Helen, 82, who spent years never admitting when she was struggling. After her husband passed, she told everyone she was managing just fine. But behind closed doors, she was sinking. When she finally started opening up, sharing her grief, and talking honestly with her daughter, something shifted. She started to feel seen again, and her relationships became more real and deeper. Her laughter returned, and she stopped feeling like she was leading a double life. The people who truly love you want to know what's really going on. They want to be there for you, not for some version of you that isn't authentic. So, if you're still pretending to be fine when you're not, it might be time to let go of that habit. Not because you're weak, but because you've gained the wisdom to understand that honesty is healing. You deserve to be seen for who you really are, with all the ups and downs, the scars and the strength. It's time to stop pretending and start being fully you. If you found this point meaningful, leave a comment below with 3 to share your thoughts. And if you haven't subscribed yet, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell so you won't miss any videos that might resonate with you. Your support means a lot to us and helps keep creating content that connects with you. 4. Stop apologizing for living your life your way. At some point after 70, many people start to find themselves apologizing for simply living life the way they want to. It could be skipping a loud family gathering to enjoy some quiet time, needing extra rest, eating dinner earlier than others, or not keeping up with the latest tech trends. These subtle phrases like, I hope that's okay, or sorry, I'm not much fun anymore, can become common even though they aren't directly saying sorry. But here's the truth. You don't need to apologize for living life on your terms. After 70, you've earned the right to prioritize your comfort, set your own boundaries, and live at your own pace. It's time to stop shrinking yourself to fit others' expectations. You were meant to grow into your truest self, not shrink under pressure. Many people were taught that their value comes from being agreeable, accommodating, and always putting others first. But over time, that way of living can leave you exhausted, resentful, and disconnected from your own needs. Now is the time to honor your own peace and well-being. I remember a conversation with Gerald, a 79-year-old man who used to feel pressured to attend church events every week. Even though he was tired, he would go to avoid the guilt. One day, his daughter told him, "Dad, you don't owe anyone an excuse. If it brings you peace, it's the right choice." That conversation helped him stop apologizing for his choices. He began embracing his new rhythm with pride, not guilt. Older age brings clarity. You know what really matters, and you're in tune with what gives you energy and what drains it. So why apologize for choosing peace, taking it slow, or following your own rhythm? When you apologize for these things, you're telling yourself that your preferences are a problem. But they're not. They're the result of a life well lived, a life that has earned the right to pause, reflect, and choose with intention. Remember this. You don't need to explain your pace, your peace, or your choices to anyone. Your life is not a performance. It's your sanctuary, and you have every right to protect it. If you found this helpful, please comment for below. I'd love to hear from you. 5. Let go of seeking everyone's approval. One of the toughest habits to shake off as we get older is the constant desire for approval. Even in our 70s and beyond, many still feel the pull to be liked, accepted, or validated by others. Whether it's family, friends, or society at large, we may find ourselves second-guessing our decisions, watering down our opinions, or agreeing with things we don't actually believe, just to avoid judgment or being excluded. But here's the reality. Life after 70 is too precious to live for anyone else's approval. Stoicism teaches us to focus on what we can control, our own actions, thoughts, and values, not on trying to manage how others see us. Seeking approval from others is like trying to hold water in your hands. No matter how tightly you grip, it will slip through. Too many older adults still carry this weight, even when it no longer serves them. They say yes when they want to say no. They stay quiet when their wisdom could offer clarity. They dress or act in ways that fit what others expect, rather than what feels true to themselves. But as you grow older, you start to realize the truth. Approval is a moving target. You can never please everyone, so why even try? I think of Evelyn, a woman I met in her early 80s. She loved bright, colorful clothes and bold earrings, and her laugh could fill an entire room. But for years, she toned herself down, wearing beige and staying quiet, because her daughter told her to act her age. One day, Evelyn looked in the mirror and asked herself, "Whose life am I living?" That week, she returned to wearing the bright colors she loved, and she said it made her feel more like herself than she had in years. You don't need permission to be yourself, especially at this stage of life. The people who truly love you won't require you to shrink, pretend, or apologize for who you are. And those who do require that kind of shrinking, well, their approval is not worth sacrificing your peace. Stoicism also reminds us to live according to virtue, not applause. It's about doing what's right, speaking your truth, and living authentically, rather than performing for an audience. Approval is fleeting. Integrity is lasting. So next time you feel that urge to please everyone, pause and ask yourself, is this true to me? If it's not, it's simply not worth your energy. You've walked through decades of life, earned your wisdom, and learned what really matters. You don't need to keep chasing validation like a child trying to fit in. You belong to yourself, to your values, to your own journey. Let others hustle for popularity, while you embrace the freedom of living on your terms. When you stop needing approval, you'll start living in full color again. Bold, unapologetic, and true to yourself. And that's one of the most beautiful things about getting older. You finally get to be who you truly are, without needing anyone's permission. Isn't it strange how age brings clarity about what really matters? When we were younger, we were told to strive, do more, and achieve more. But as we grow older, we begin to see that peace is far more valuable than constant productivity, and real connection is more meaningful than status. Being true to yourself is the ultimate freedom. The things we talked about today, overextending ourselves, chasing approval, and trying to live by someone else's rules, are burdens we've been conditioned to carry. But after 70, those burdens aren't necessary anymore. Letting them go doesn't mean giving up. It means stepping into your wisdom. You've earned the right to slow down without apology, to say no without needing an explanation, and to rest without guilt. The power of aging well isn't about clinging to youth or pretending to be who you were. It's about becoming comfortable with who you are right now, authentically, peacefully, and free. If you've ever felt guilty about slowing down or hesitant to make changes that feel right for you, I hope this video gave you permission to breathe easier. It's not just okay to take your time after 70. It's essential. By letting go of what no longer serves you, you make space for what truly matters. A meaningful life doesn't have to be busy, and it certainly doesn't need to be full of obligations. Sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is sit quietly with your own truths and know that you're enough, not for what you produce, but simply because you are. So be kind to yourself, be honest, and above all, be free. This stage of life isn't the end of your story. It's the most honest chapter yet. Thank you for joining me today. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Leave a comment below sharing one thing you learned from today's video and how you plan to apply it in your life. Your feedback motivates us to keep creating valuable content, so don't hesitate to share. If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and share. Your support helps us continue creating content that informs and inspires you. Thanks for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.